those things, how they affect your ability to respond to these bidding opportunities more competitively. The other thing I put up here is just another acronym that the city uses a lot that have come up in a couple of, this is a series of presentations that Nee has helped organize for Luis and I to just try and reach out to as many people as we can to make sure that people understand how these bidding opportunities are. There's another term here that we use a lot, and I kind of take for granted that people know what I'm talking about, and it occurs to me that we don't, because I just talk amongst my coworkers about all of these things, and that's a different world than normal world. Sure. The Invest St. Paul initiative is something that has been kind of an overall umbrella of a lot of coordinated activity that the city of St. Paul has undertaken under the direction of the mayor over the last 3 years. And this is much more of a holistic program, the Invest St. Paul program is, than just simply bricks and mortar things. It's a lot of community outreach and a lot of organizing in our neighborhoods and a lot of coordination with Department of Safety and Inspections to address nuisance properties, coordination with the police department, coordination with Public Works, all of these different city resources focused on some particular neighborhoods in the city to try and help places that have been particularly distressed by a lot of factors. And the reason I bring this all up here is because the work that the city had underway with the Invest St. Paul initiative, and we continue to have underway with the Invest St. Paul initiative, really very successfully set the stage for the NSP dollars then to come in and work very much in these same neighborhoods, now particularly on addressing some of these homes. What we've been doing is everything I'm talking about regarding the neighborhood stabilization program, we're publicizing a lot of general data, but also specific data about bidding opportunities that are coming out of this program at this website right here, www.stpaul.gov/NSP. And when you go to this website, you'll not only find general information about the city's neighborhood stabilization program, you'll also find more specific information on when bidding opportunities are coming up for homes. And when those bidding opportunities come up, this is where we publish them. The fact that you're here today and have hopefully signed up on this form is also a way that we're going to keep in touch with all of you to make sure that you know when bidding opportunities are coming up. These are comprehensive whole house gut rehab jobs. Usually, let's see, we've got about 20 underway right now. I expect that we'll probably move through another 80 or so in the next couple of years. These are usually $50,000 to $100,000 total house rehab bidding opportunities. We put these out to general contractors. So I know that at least one or two of you are general contractors, but those of you in the room that aren't general contractors, you still should be tuned into this, because every general that's bidding on one of these are, every trade you can imagine is involved in a whole house gut rehab. And these generals are in need of, networking with all of the appropriate subs to get a job like this done. Now, as Luis is going to tell you in a little bit, because these jobs have strings attached that require vendor outreach program goals, this has to do with making sure that there's subcontracting opportunities for businesses that are owned by women, that are small, or are owned by minorities. And because these bidding opportunities also have something called Section 3 goals, if a general contractor is interested in bidding on this, they have to think about how to reach the vendor outreach and Section 3 goals. And often the opportunity for them to reach these goals is through who they subcontract with. So that's why it's very important for those of you that are in the subcontracting role to make sure that you understand who the generals are that are bidding on these or will likely bid on these. And that's where I would encourage you to network with those people. So who's the generals that would bid on these? Well, if you go to www.stpaul.gov/NSP, I've been maintaining a list of general contractors that have been in contact with us that have either, I don't know if I have a list that says these are the generals who have bid, but I do have a list that says these are the generals that have expressed interest in bidding and some contact information. And this is very valuable information for a subcontractor that wants to network and think about these NSP bidding opportunities. So that's another reason why you want to tune into that website. It's making sense so far?
But
Questions?
any general contractor in this room here has to go Section 3. Have to get in.
Does a general contractor have to be Section 3 certified? No. Now, Luis will explain that a little bit more. He's our Section 3 certification officer, okay? But every contractor has to achieve a Section 3 goal. That could be achieved via the general contractor's Section 3 status, or it could be achieved via the general contractor's decisions on how they subcontract. Am I saying that accurately? Kind of. Okay. He'll tell you more.
I'll explain a little more.
You know, I put these bid packages together. I get it all out,
Yeah.
and then he and his colleagues have to tell me if I'm doing things right, and then I award them.
But you're all in the top, right? Way the bottom is wrong.
Huh?
You're in the top always right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Us is wrong.
Well, no, I'm down in the bottom. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I mean, the big take-home point for me and everything that I just said is www.stpaul.gov/NSP. I don't have any bids out. I don't have any bid packages out on the street currently today, but I have 4 that we're working through writing the scopes on right now. There's 4 homes right now that I think we're just a few weeks away from having those all set to go. And I've got an inventory of, you know, a few dozen homes that I intend to rehab. And I'm also continuing to purchase more homes. And my hope is that if I get this process rolling right, I should be able to publish bidding opportunities on whole home rehabs at the pace of about 2 or 3 or 4 at a time every 2 or 3 or 4 weeks over the next couple years. So a lot of work. The other take-home point then is to just get a general overview now from Luis about Section 3. And he's going to talk to you as well about the vendor outreach program. And his colleague who isn't with us today, Stephanie Sell, is the equivalent staff person like Luis that deals with that particular program. The last thing I want to say is we have one prerequisite for general contractors that are interested in bidding on these, and that is that a general contractor attend a pre-bid training session that it's much more detailed than just this general outreach information that I'm providing here today. And we do these as often as necessary. If you're interested, we'll try to offer them about once a month, but certainly we'll, as we're nearing release of these next bidding opportunities, we'll time another one of these pre-bid training sessions with the release of this next set of 4 contracts that we're going to put out. And what you'll learn there is specifics about how to respond to the bid, exactly the information that we need submitted in a bid submittal, how to gain access to the property, and then much greater detail of what all of these compliance things are about on this. Because we want to make sure that our general contractors that submit bids on these really know the complexity of the strings that we attach to all of our dollars.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay.
But look like I could raise my question earlier, same thing. But how we get access to get into general? Whoever in this room we get a benefit, or you got the name of us, or what the program we can get in there, you know?
Okay, so a couple things. I mean, I can't make all this networking happen, but I can try to facilitate it as best I can, and I have 2 things to offer. One is look at the list of general contractors that I'm publishing on my website that have told me they're interested in bidding on these. The other is, if you're on these certified lists, that you're a Section 3 certified subcontractor, or you're a vendor outreach program certified subcontractor, general contractors, in their effort to meet these goals, they look at these lists. They call Luis and they say, I've got to find a carpentry sub, or I've got to find a floor refinishing sub, or I've got to find a final house clean out sub. Do you know any of those trades that can help you reach these goals?
You know,
Okay.
but my concern is I want to be a general. I don't want to be, you know, straight stuff. I'm not anyway. You know, whoever do the floor or do this drywall or paint or whatever that, you know, they're the Section 3. But we a general, I do the whole thing, everything, big project. You know, I'm not coming, you know, spending time here and you go, oh, I go in there, look like a couple weeks ago, we went too many Section 3 go in there. It's too big to do, you know?
Yeah.
Not right.
Well, I know there's a lot of people out there that are looking for this work.
Yeah.
Hey, I said one more thing, actually, I got one other thing to say too, is as you think about all of this stuff associated with Section 3 and vendor outreach, I'm only mentioning to you one funding source and one set of bidding opportunities that's coming out of the city, because I'm just working with the neighborhood stabilization program. But there's there's a whole bunch of different stuff that's going on down at the city that is putting dollars out on the street and creating contracting opportunities. I mean, some of it is really large stuff that you may or may not be interested in tuning into. I mean, there's a 6-story and a 4-story apartment building getting ready to go up in downtown St. Paul. That's going to be bid through a city process because it's city dollars. We also have a number of programs that are homeowner rehab loan programs where there's city dollars that are going out at the rate of $10,000 to $40,000 single family owner occupied rehab projects that get bid out.
Where would we go to access that information?
Call me and I'll get you in touch with the right people.
Okay.
It's all out there, but yeah, not in one easy place, but I'll get you there.
I think some of those things that you just talked to,